to help you live a stress-free life.
And think of 3 things and journal it, write it down. 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 to 5 things. And what it's going to do, it's amazing. It will shift that mindset away from the things that maybe we can't control that we're worrying about.
Today we're exploring ways to live a stress-free life, and joining us with simple changes that you can make in your everyday life is integrative nutrition health coach Sonia Magruder. Sonia, it's always so good to see you.
Likewise. Thank you, Gail.
So Sonia, why is it so important to manage our stress?
Well, we do live in stressful times. We're always going to have stressful situations, and it's important for our health. So what happens when we encounter a stressful situation is that our brain signals our body to release stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, and then that triggers the fight or flight response, which is okay because sometimes we need that in short-term situations to keep us safe. It's like danger, you know, but when we're in a constant state of fight or flight, that's chronic stress, and that can have a really negative impact on our health in a lot of ways, including even weakening our immune system.
Yeah. I had a doctor look at my blood work, and he looked at those very levels, and he's like, what's going on in your world? Like, you really need to learn to manage your stress. And I think, to your point, it becomes so normal that we're in this constant that we don't even realize that we're doing this at a detriment to our health.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things that I really focus on is mindset. Because if we're constantly worrying, anxious, stressed, go, and even dwelling on negative thoughts, we're going to release more of those stress hormones. So something that, it's my favorite tip, that helps me a lot is having a daily gratitude practice. Every morning, just get up and think of 3 things and journal it, write it down. 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 to 5 things. And what it's going to do, it's amazing. It will shift that mindset away from the things that maybe we can't control that we're worrying about and shift us to a positive mindset. When we have a positive outlook, it's going to be much easier to be able to cope with these situations when they arise.
So talk to me about other simple tips that you might have to manage stress.
Okay, so one of them is so easy. You can do it anytime, anywhere. It's called soft belly breathing. So you're going to breathe in through your nose and through your diaphragm and then into your stomach. You're almost like you're going to feel like you look pregnant.
Okay.
Like you're going to breathe into your stomach where your stomach gets really big, and then breathe out through your mouth. And what that does is it calms your sympathetic nervous system and triggers your parasympathetic nervous system, which is what we call rest and digest. And you can do it anytime, anywhere. No one's even going to notice that you're doing it, and it costs nothing, and it's really effective.
That's really, really interesting. So breathing exercises, gratitude, any other good tips?
Yeah. So I talk about this a lot. Quality sleep. That's important for our overall health.
I cannot get that.
So some of the things that can help, just a couple things. One is limit screen time.
Okay.
Try to get off the screens and devices a few hours before bed. And I supplement with minerals because most of us are mineral deficient, and minerals are responsible for every chemical reaction in our bodies. So minerals, I take ocean trace minerals that have a lot of magnesium. Magnesium calms the nervous system. Even taking an Epsom salt bath, that's magnesium. So you can do that. Something else, find a hobby, find something that you enjoy, that brings you joy. It could be cooking, it could be baking, it could be reading, time with friends, laughter. That is going to help release the feel-good hormones and neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, endorphins. Getting outside, getting in the sunshine, that helps. So all of those things. And another thing is that something I did, decluttering your living space. It was one of the best things I did. I had a room that kind of became a catch-all room, and every time I walked in that room, I felt myself tense up because it was so cluttered, and I hired an organizer, and it was the best thing ever. Now when I walk in, I'm calm, and it feels great. So those are just things like daily simple things, for the most part, that somebody can implement and start noticing a difference in how they feel and not feeling stressed out all the time. And one thing that I would say that doesn't really work and isn't really beneficial, but a lot of people do it, is having alcohol every night. I hear people say that just to take the edge off. But it's not necessarily healthy. I'm not saying, you know, never go out with your friends and enjoy a glass of wine, but all these other things will help take the edge off in a much better way.
Yeah, and it won't disrupt your sleep, because alcohol might get you to sleep faster, but it wakes you up in the middle of the night. And you say stress can really manifest itself in the body with illness.
Yeah, it can. Hypertension, cardiovascular disease. It can even cause, eventually, type 2 diabetes. So many things. And like I said, weakening the immune system, which is the last thing we want. It can affect the gut. And, you know, the gut, 95% of serotonin, one of those feel-good neurotransmitters I mentioned, is made in the gut. But when we're stressed all the time, we're disrupting our gut microbiome. And 70% of our immune system is in our gut.
Yeah, and if your gut's not healthy, you're not absorbing the nutrients that you need to feel good and feel energized.
Yeah, exactly. Especially leaky gut, anything that leads to that, then those certain things are getting into the bloodstream that we don't want, and we're not absorbing nutrients, like you said.
And I know something that you've told me about that does help with the sleep is that tart cherry.
Yeah.
That was a good tip. We made the Sleepy Girl mocktail, and that was really fun. That's something that Sonia and I did together.
With the minerals.
Yeah,
added.
exactly.
With those same minerals that I mentioned that I take. And someone who watched the show reached out to me and said, I tried that and it knocked me out and I stayed asleep. It was awesome.
Yeah,
so it does work.
It is a good one. I need to get back to that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, Sonia, we really appreciate you coming in. It's always such a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.